Welcome everybody, and welcome to Whisper2Scream. This is June 2018. My name is Bernard and I am your host. Now, June marks the beginning of our summer season here in North America. You can find most of us here just hanging out on the beach, riding around in convertibles and just hanging out day and night. It's summertime. But now, let's begin with the follow-up on some of our past stories. You know, we always go and bring up some story and link some stories from our past. Net neutrality. We brought it up again in our last broadcast. Folks, it seems like net neutrality is dangling without a net. Once again, what does that mean for us? Get ready to pay to use the internet. Be ready to pay extra to stream some of your favorite programs because they may not be part of your particular internet service network. Okay, a lot of stuff is coming down the pike, and we're going to do segments on net neutrality on every broadcast until we can kind of figure out what the heck is going on. Now, here comes one of the first increases we've been talking about. So while we were busy watching Trump do his antics, this is what they slipped in. The Supreme Court has just ruled that online sales are subject to state taxes. Now, maybe you hadn't noticed, but usually when you buy something online, like from maybe eBay or Amazon, you pay the cost of that item, and then sometimes you add shipping charges. Now, state taxes for your particular state will be added to your final payment. Now, previously, the ruling was because the online businesses were not brick and mortar businesses and were not located in your state, then taxes could not be collected. Well, now that ruling is dead. The states have been complaining for years about billions lost in revenue because they could not collect taxes. Those days of not having to pay state tax for online sales are over. Finished, gone. Remember, too, the internet is no longer under the FCC. It falls under the FTC, that's the Federal Trade Commission. And that means it's all about the Benjamins, the dollars. Also, in a previous broadcast, we talked about the fate of Social Security program and our Medicaid and Medicare programs. Now, from the research I've done, I'm feeling pretty good about the Social Security program, and the Medicaid programs will remain intact for a while. And I'm aware of all the grumbling about the impending danger and the imminent collapse of these programs, but the numbers just don't add up. But now the Medicare program may come into some very serious problems in the next 3 or 4 years. The funding might become very strained. So I strongly recommend that you call your congressperson, your city council members, and ask about how to sustain our Medicare program. More about this in later broadcasts. We'll be talking about this for a while. I also want to mention to all my fellow Americans who supported the current administration tax program, I hope you are enjoying these few extra pennies that you may be receiving in your paychecks, because you're gonna need them. We are already in a trade war with our enemies and our allies. Now, statistics show that our economic growth is at 2.2% in the first quarter of this year, 2018, but that's down from 2.7% in the fourth quarter of 2017. Now, I ain't no statistician and I ain't no doctor with degrees, but it don't take much time to see what's in store for you and me. This economy is not being built to sustain. It's all about short term. And I'm going to stress again, starting now, save more money and restrict your buying. I'm going to say it again, save more money and restrict your buying. Now, if you want to stand back and just watch the cost of products and services rise, they're going to do it right in front of our eyes. One example is insurance companies will no longer be subsidized by the government. So there's no more incentive to keep costs down. So you and I are going to be paying more for medical services because the insurance companies ain't going to do it. I'm not trying to alarm you. I just want you to see what's on the way. And have you noticed that gas prices are going up, even though we hear that the cost per barrel is going down? I don't get it. But like they say in my hood, you better ask somebody.
Who don't know that?
Did y'all hear that? Am I the one that's hearing voices? Did you hear that? Okay, this is just in. For those of you who voted for the new tax bill, here's another gift. For those of us whose wealth is less than $6 million, when you put your assets into a trust fund for your grandkids, if they collect before they are 19 years old, the tax rate will be at 37%. That's the same tax rate for people who earn over $600,000 a year. So for y'all who think that the low-income families are going to be the only ones suffering from the short-term tax breaks, just want you to know that vine is climbing up the middle-class tree as well. And there are some loopholes in this debacle, and we will spell out more of them in our next broadcast. Now remember, the taxes for the wealthy are permanent, and the taxes for us, well, they're not.
Child, please.
Did y'all hear? Wait
Child, please.
Am I hearing things? Am I the only one hearing these? Okay, we promised you we would do some stories where our police force was acting in concert with the community. Now, we like to think the majority of our police force is there to do a good job protecting its citizens. And here are a few stories about some good cops. Our first story takes place in Houston, Texas. There's a special unit that deals with the homeless population.
My name is Steve Wick. I'm the sergeant over Houston Police Department's homeless outreach team. Anyway, Michael, you decide you want to do anything, let me know. Police officers are responsive in nature, and the tools they have had in the past are the penal code. You would respond to a complaint of this person drunk on the sidewalk, pick them up, they'd spend a few hours in jail, then they'd get kicked out and they'd do the same thing again. When you work in an area like downtown Houston for a long time, you get to know the street population. You talk with them, you learn their stories. We are a tool. We're not the answer. I wish we were. We're a tool in the toolbox to do something about the problem.
Okay, now check out this story of a little girl who was caught stealing candy.
You know what happens if you get something that you don't pay for at the store? You can get lots of trouble. Right? You learn anything? You don't have to cry. Hey, don't be scared of me. You don't have to be scared of me. Look at me. I'm not mad at you. We all make mistakes. Even I do. We just gotta learn from them, right? So I hope you learned something today. Don't be scared of us. You gotta do the right thing. Okay? Have a hope.
Now, honestly, I got to tell you, I like the way that cop talked to her. I do think most cops want to protect the communities they serve, and we all know you can't just patrol. You have to engage in the community so folks know who you are and can trust you. Like the cops in Chicago, in Chi-Town.
Rage over the use of police force against young African Americans, a refreshing sight in Chicago. Cops making a difference by finding common ground with kids on the baseball diamond. Here's NBC's Kevin Timmons.
The crack of a bat in a Chicago neighborhood that's become synonymous with the sound of gunfire.
In Inglewood, it means too much shooting and everything, so
Not so safe.
it's not so safe here.
But it's a different mood on this night. As the Englewood Police Youth Baseball League takes the field. Here, the cops and the kids are safe together because the cops are the coaches.
We just have to have fun and be positive.
Officer Angela Wormley walks a nearby beat. She volunteers because her passion is these kids.
We're not always the big bad police. We're, here for them. We're part of them. We are the community.
Life lessons on and off the field. Just ask 11-year-old Kelly Bryant.
Teamwork, accountability, and respect.
That's what you learn here?
Yeah.
Taking it all in proudly is Larry Watson. He's the district commander. But on this day, you can call him Commish.
Okay, we wanted to bring you these stories to promote a balance of the images of our law enforcement personnel here in America. We got to balance that out. Okay, and then there is the opioid crisis. What are we supposed to do now? Ground zero is in middle America, the target group, middle-class white people. Now the government has set up and they're running programs to combat the epidemic. And yeah, I'm a little miffed because it became a criminal element when it was in the black and brown communities, but now it's a health hazard when it happens in the white community. Truth is, children are dying from overdose on opioids, especially from fentanyl and heroin. But not only kids are dying, mothers and fathers are dying, aunts and uncles are dying, siblings are dying. It really is at epidemic proportions, in case you're not aware. But now it has spread to both the coasts, and is in states like Massachusetts and Maine, and almost everywhere now. Now, the drug of choice used to be Oxycontin. That's a drug that's derived from Mexican poppy seeds. But now it's heroin mixed with fentanyl, and that's a deadly cocktail. The primary source of the drug fentanyl comes from China, and it travels through Mexico and then smuggled into the United States. Fentanyl is so deadly, 1/10 of a gram is enough to cause death. And it's not produced from organic opium, it's produced in a laboratory. DEA agents and police have to wear gloves to avoid contact with it because it can be absorbed through the skin. And yet, users will stick needles in their arms, inhale it, or smoke it just to get that buzz. In a newscast that I looked at, survivors of this plague say they have found dead bodies in open fields, lying on sidewalks in front of their houses, under beds, and in abandoned cars. It's like a scene from a zombie movie. Now, the average overdose age is between 40 and 49. That's prime workers' age. Look at this picture of parents who overdose in their car while their little boy looks on at them, not knowing what to do next. Now, those zombies are all around us. And what do you think we can do to protect ourselves and our families and our neighbors? Well, one thing I know we can do is learn from this information and resist using this deadly drug. Now, if you think you are one who won't get hooked, then tell that to the ones who are already hooked. Many have said, it won't happen to me, I'm too smart. But look at them now. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. That's for any of these subjects that we've been discussing. You know, we always like to bring you good news stories with each broadcast. The plan was to show you several good stories, but we opted to bring you just one. You may have seen this story on Ellen's show. It's a little long, but check it out.
Who have 11 children, 11. But here's what's amazing. In the past, this past April, they adopted 6 of those children after meeting them in the foster care system. They're all siblings, and the Sanders wanted them to be able to stay together as a family, so they adopted all 6 at once. So right now, I know. Right now, the whole family is on the Warner Brothers studio tour, but what they don't know is they're about to drive onto this stage, and they're going to be guests on the show. So everyone has to be quiet when they start getting close. That's not them. We just have a random camera just to let. Here they come. All right. So as they get closer. All right. So they're turning. So they're going to be here. Oh, so have to be very quiet because they're going to pull onto the stage.
So what's also just kind of really exciting about this, and this is what I love to do as well. First of all, we'll head in through stage 2. Are you guys fans of the Ellen Show?
Yeah!
Awesome.
Ellen Show is dope, bro.
I know. They finished filming earlier today, which I say is exciting because that actually gives me the opportunity to give you guys a really behind-the-scenes look and kind of get up close and personal, which I cannot wait to do for you guys. It's going to be great.
Man, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, so this is behind the scenes, guys. This is as behind the scenes as it gets in stage 2. So, so a lot of equipment. We were talking earlier about how many people it takes to make a show.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the best examples of that.
Oh my God.
It's great.
Man, this is
You love this show, right?
Man, Ellen is the best.
Yeah, it's a great show. We're all happy to be here. So...
Oh my goodness, how you doing?
Hi. Good job, John. All right. Come on over. Christine, you sit here. Let's get. All right. Some of y'all sit back there. Let's get Chris on the sofa as well. All right, I know everybody wants to be on the sofa. Nobody's going to give room for mom and dad. All right, here's some microphones for you. Surprise! So I was just telling everybody about y'all, and then you accidentally drove on here. So, oh look, you want to move closer? Hi. All right. So how did you hear about the siblings in the first place that needed to be fostered?
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I know. It's exciting. There's water, by the way, if you want water.
Okay, thank you very much. In the beginning,
we always wanted to be foster parents. Always.
You have 4 children already of your own.
5 of our own.
5 of your own.
Absolutely.
All right.
And they, it's okay, baby. Okay, so my wife wanted to be a foster parent early on because she always liked to take care of kids. She always liked to give back and help people. And so, it was just a natural progression for us to, to foster and, just, okay, excuse me. Okay.
That's all right.
It's okay.
So you fostered. And
yes.
And that was the intention, just to foster.
Just to foster, and we took the classes in December the 3rd, 2014. We had a emergency phone call and asked us did we want to take some kids, and
we did.
We did.
So you took the boys, and then you didn't realize they had sisters.
We found out right after they had 2 sisters, and we were like, okay, we're getting them. We're gonna find them. I found them, and I said, right. From that point on, we were gonna keep them together, and we were holiday, birthday, every weekend. We made a commitment.
Right.
Okay, so. All right, so. Who's Chris Jr.?
Me.
All right, hi, Chris Jr. Here, you take a mic. Okay, nice to meet you too. Okay, so suddenly you got a whole bunch of brothers and sisters all at once.
Yes, I did.
And how was that?
At first it was just like, wow. I mean, one thing, my responsibility definitely went through the roof. I had way more eyes looking on me. So I had to make a lot of things happen.
Yeah. Your behavior. You have to be a responsible person.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay, and so who's Kaylee? Where's Kaylee? Hi, Kaylee. Okay, Kaylee, tell me what it's like to be a part of this family all of a sudden. Because I understand after 6 months, you just started calling them mom and dad. So you were just, you can't send them back to the foster. You're like, they're calling you mom and dad. So you're like, so tell me what it's like to be part of this family.
I love it. I'm happy that they adopted us because not so many parents would adopt like us 6 kids and they didn't know us, and I'm just happy, and they're always doing something for us, and it's amazing. Every good word describes them, and I thank them very much.
Now, did you notice how loving and respectful the children were towards each other and to their parents? And did you notice that each one of them gave a hug to the tour guide before they sat down? I just found that amazing. Here's another amazing thing about this family. Now, all their biological kids' names begin with the letter C. I think one is named Chris, maybe another is named Claude. Well, the adopted kids asked the parents to change their first names to begin with the letter C as well. So now all the children's names legally begin with the letter C. Now, see, that's deep. Okay, well, that's our broadcast for June. One thing's for certain.
One thing for certain and 2 things for sure.
Is anybody hearing these voices besides me? Okay, I was going to say 1 thing's for certain, 2 things for sure. We will continue to bring you information you can use in your everyday life. There's a lot going on, and the better prepared we are, the better off we are. Now, I know for a fact, most everybody feels that something ain't right. We all know something ain't right out here. I didn't say out here, I said out here. And we haven't seen the eye of the storm yet. So just hold on to your seats, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. But you will survive if you stay woke. There's one more thing, especially for our young black and brown folks, and really all young folks. The pressure is on to make you feel worthless and that your lives are worthless. I promise you, they'll do almost anything rather than allow you to feel and understand your powers. You got powers, but you gotta stay woke. For real. Okay, folks, till next time, stay woke and be blessed.